Tuesday, 16 August 2022. This is episode 32 of This and That and What a Fuck. In this episode I'm going to talk about around the green stuff around the Green Deal, and then there's some interesting information, tidbits about this gender confusion thing, and obviously I'll have to talk about racism in this one. Not a topic that I like to discuss because it makes me angry, but sometimes it is so in our faces that we just have to pay attention to it. Right, let's go. Italian ice cream maker in tears. Today I received an electricity bill for July, €5,128. Last year I paid €1,371 for the same period, consuming 200 kilowatt hour less. Kilowatt hour in 2021 cost 9 cents, today 53, an increase of 468%. That is, I don't know how those people are going to survive in Europe. I don't know. Businesses are going to be destroyed, but let's never forget, one of the plans of the WEF is to destroy the middle class. That is a main mission. And with the pestilence lockdowns, they transferred trillions of dollars of wealth from the middle class and small businesses to the conglomerates. It is absolutely stated by them that this is their mission. You will own nothing and will be happy. Now this ice cream maker doesn't seem happy to me. And now we come to energy, more energy. At a quick glance, there is 56.9 gigawatt of nuclear power plant capacity actively being built globally. Assuming 80% capacity factor, this is 400 terawatt of electricity per year. This is an amount sufficient to supply all electricity generated in Africa, minus Egypt and South Africa in 2020. And this was his response to an idiot with a Ukraine flag in his profile that said, "No one builds nuclear." And then this is interesting. Recent droughts in Europe once again made visible the hunger stones in some Czech and German rivers. These stones were used to mark desperately low river levels that would forecast famines. This one in Elbe River is from 1616 and says, "If you see me, cry." So, what does this tell us? Nature has got cycles. And as Kobana Alfred said one day, it is summer in Europe, so they get heat waves. It's winter in South Africa, we get cold waves. And these guys now have a dry spell. That is how it works. That is how nature works. Cycles. And then this oak responded to that tweet about the stones. It's almost like they had droughts before and didn't have climate change. Perhaps it's a cycle. And then this, 100 days, 100 cows, facts. Fact number 60. When cattle graze pastures, they enable new growth of the grasses. Their hooves pierce the ground and aerate the soil. Their urine is rich in phosphorus, manure abundant in nitrogen. Soil can be rejuvenated from desert to arable in 10 short years. But that the greenies don't want to know. All they want is for you to eat bugs. And here's another shocker. So much for charging your vehicles. Green New Deal will fail. Safety warning. Due to a safety recall involving batteries fires, Chevrolet Bolt EVs and EUVs are prohibited from parking at this facility under further notice. The world has gone crazy. And then we get to this gender thing. Today in Belgrade, 50,000 people to defend the traditional values of the family and say no to Euro Pride scheduled for September in Serbia. The European media will never show this manifestation. And then there's this. If they can't define what a woman is, when will they be able to define what a child is? Are they already conditioning people by accepting pedophilia as a sexual orientation? And that is a damn good question. And now I'm going to show you some images. Just look at them and form your own opinion. There was this tweet. Did you ever think you'd see the day that this would be viewed as appropriate in American government? And I just want to say, these two went to a French celebration at the ambassador's residence. And what they arriving there dressed like that was very inappropriate. I handled it in the previous Skidmark. And then take a look at this. This is what leftist progressive males look like. All males in that picture. Yeah, well, there's a lot of wara about the one on the left. But I have seen images. Now, this meme that you see here is now followed up by this one of these three. And she says, bro, you seeing this? And Putin just smiled. And then he says, hold up, got a line. And then it's the guy from North Korea. Bro, what? And here is some good advice from an old American hero, John Wayne. Who else? Cutting off your pecker doesn't make you a woman. It just makes you a guy that cut off his damn pecker. And that is the truth. And there's some more pictures of that Serbian parade. Serbs protest against the gay pride parade. Thousands of people took to the streets of Serbia with flags, icons and crosses, reports Sputnik. They are outraged at the LGBT community plans to hold a Euro Pride in Belgrade in mid-September. The protest was held under the slogans, No Gay Pride Parade and Occupation of the West, and Hands Off Our Children. The next such action is scheduled for August 28. And now I'm going to show you some images, and then you can understand how disgusting these people really are. What the fuck is wrong with these people? This should be banned, never mind celebrated. Look at that. The West is in deep trouble. And look at this. And I didn't even take the next picture because in the next picture, that penis spreads water and he sprays it on the people on the sidewalks there. And there's children in it. This is disgusting, past disgusting. Okay, now we're back to the global reset. If Saudi Arabia agrees to sell oil to China in yuans, that's financial apocalypse for the US dollar. The world is changing fast. The West is in decline. Asia is going up, up, up. China and Russia, I mean. And then there's a NATO snippet. The Russian army is incredible. According to our media and government, they are facing NATO with a devastated economy, no weapons, only a few troops that are totally demoralized and being destroyed by the almighty HIMARS, but still taking more and more land in the Ukraine every day. And yes, it is actually disturbing. And the Russian army is incredible. We've seen that. And then there's this from Dmitry Medvedev. There is no unity in NATO regarding Russia. Alliance is divided into three camps: hawks, pigeons and ostriches. NATO is a security threat to the whole world. Europe suffers from anti-Russian sanctions more than the United States. Perhaps Washington wants to weaken the EU. And I have done something on that theory in a previous Skidmark. And now let's get racist. Look at that fat woman. And then she says this: white women have diets at work, but blacks don't because you guessed it, racism. I listened to that video. You can, there's the Twitter user detail. You can go and find her profile on Twitter and you will get to this video. It was absolutely crazy what this woman, all the things that she said. And then there's this: black people be like, It's because of colonialism and apartheid that black people are behind whites. Me. Bitch, please, your ancestors couldn't read or write even in 1652. By this time, reading and writing was 10,000 years old. You were always behind. Ah, it's harsh, but it's true. And then there's this. They were heavily exploited from within. Before 1948, Communist Prince Rolihlahla could easily afford a law degree, while his people spent only 4 years of their lives in schools on average. They were kept illiterate by their kings and nobles. And this is true. The ANC didn't even try to hide the fact that they will destroy the education system in South Africa. And they did it. During apartheid, blacks weren't allowed in the CBD after dark. Today, blacks aren't safe in the CBD even during daytime. Laughing out loud. Who do they blame? Whites? Yeah, that is a real good question. And then we get to that moment. What the fuck is this? Look at this cartoon. The guy in the hat on the right hand side top is obviously our Minister of Police. And he screams, "Zama Zamas," and turns around and runs. We're no match against them. We only used to criminals with surfboards, booze and no masks. And the references in here, Zama Zamas is this illegal miners that we've got a major problem with in South Africa. And Jele's words as he runs away is all based on the pestilence. And on that note, please like, subscribe, share, and have a great evening.